What's up, guys? You just saw me using various input sources into one session, recording at the same time in GarageBand, and also I'm outputting to various sources at the same time. So you could have your audio synchronized going to various different sources or different speakers, headphones, monitors, whatever, all for free within a hidden utility in macOS, and I'm gonna make sure you how to do that for free. So let's go ahead and dig and find a special utility that allows you to have multiple audio sources. And the reason why this is very important is because if we go to hold the Alt button and tap on the little speaker button or your headphones, your speaker volume icon, you have all your output devices and input devices, and you could pick one at a time. And that's it. So it's very limited. You have to pick whether you're using this audio interface or this one. And for my input, I can use the internal microphone or my other input audio sources. But no, there is a way to mix them and join them all together and select them from the menu. So let me show you how to do that. What we got to do is we got to go into our utilities folders in the applications folder. Open others, look for the one that says audio MIDI setup. Open it up, and here we have very specific settings for each individual audio interface. So as you can see, I have one audio codec name, and this is the Behringer UM2 audio interface. I have a very cheap Sony condenser mic, the ECM PCV 80U. Well, it's a long name. I'll just leave it down on the description below. But anywho, to put them all together, you gotta hit the little plus sign down at the bottom. Create is an aggregate device. And also you want to create a multi-output device. On the right, you have a settings and a checkbox list. And here you could check which items you want to synchronize in the input source. So the aggregate device is the input source, and you could see right here on the tab that says in how many input sources you have. So you could go ahead and check everything, any input source you want to add in to the source of recording. And the same thing with the multi-out. You want to tap on the multi-output device and check on all the devices, the audio devices you want to sync into the multi-out. And on the top, there is the master device that you can check and the rate settings that you can enable. So I like my UM2 to be my main input in and out source. So I make sure that is selected, and that is it. It's already saved. It's there. You don't have to save anything. It's built into macOS. So once you go back to your little speaker on the top, you're gonna see there is a select for your output source, your multi-output, and then the aggregate device as your input source. All right, so how can we get a podcast going with all these devices working? Let's head over to GarageBand and choose an audio track. We're gonna choose choose create. Bam, we got our first audio device, and you could see it's right now picking up my microphone from mic 1. And if we look down at the audio setting, if you don't have a display, you could double tap anywhere or click up here to bring up the equalizer and the control setting, and we can see that we have the recording settings and our input. Make sure it's aggregate, and you have multiple devices to choose. And yes, that means multiple mics. So this is the UM2, the Behringer UM2. If I switch over to, I believe it's 3. Yeah, there we go. We got, oops, sorry, too close. Now this is the Sony right here. I'm using the Sony, and it's picking up the sound. All right, but we want multiple mics at the same time. So what we got to do is add another recording source, audio, voice, and there we go. Make sure this is 1 for the UM2, and over there is the Sony. So we got Sony. We can even label these my Sony mic, condenser mic. This is the Sony condenser mic, and this is my UM2. Bam. All right, so now we want to add a keyboard. So for that, you gotta make sure that the keyboard that is plugged in is using an MIDI, interface, USB MIDI interface. Go ahead and create that. And now we have our keyboard, and of course I have a special settings that I use for my keyboard. All right, so now that we got everything all set, we want to record everything at the same time, because right now the way this is all set, I can only record one instrument at the same time. See, it's not picking up my voice anywhere, none of my microphones. All right, so what you got to do is you got another hidden feature in GarageBand. Right click on any of the sources that you have and go to configure track header. Enable or check the record enable button. You want to enable that, and that's it. Tap away from it. Now you could see a little red button, and that indicates that the mic is gonna be ready for recording. And as you can see, my other two microphones are not red, not lit up, but when I select it, it lights up and picks up the sound. All right, so all you gotta do is click on the record buttons on all the other input sources. Now everything is picking up at the same time, including my piano. Sweet. Now all we gotta do is hit record and start your podcast. So let's start recording and see. And we go live in 2, 1. All right, we're live. Yeah, this is the input 1. Input 2 down here. And my piano. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to have multiple output sources. And this is great for parties, events, whenever you have multiple sources that you want to feed audio out to. This is a great way to do that. And more importantly, to do an interview podcast where you have 2 microphones for each speaker or each source. And that's a great way to record nice audio for each person. And of course, a band. If you have multiple recording devices, a guitar, a bass, and a keyboard, and you want to all at the same time, there you go. You got a jam session with your MacBook and everything, free utilities. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate it if you share it as well, because I actually took me a long time to find this feature. It was really hitting, and it's not too popular. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Matane.